it's a loss. And when we go through that, when our children get married, happy moment, beautiful moment. But at times, it can be a loss in a certain time. When couples have a child, beautiful situation, a blessing. A child is always a blessing. At the same time, for the family, loss of freedom. So if we can see, there can be mixed feelings. And this book is about many losses. What happens also is, as I shared with you before, that we go through life not processing or accepting the losses that we have had in the past. And at times, and that has happened to me in my practice, when someone comes, I said that I do not only do grief counseling, I do life coaching. And sometimes people call me and say, okay, I want to realize, to meet a goal, to do certain things, but I cannot make it. I'm stuck. Then we revisit what is happening, and at times it is because a loss from the past, and we may be talking 15 years ago, was never processed. I like to do with my clients, most of my clients, a history of losses since they are born up to the age they are. So we can see where they are, where they're standing. And when that happens, that person hasn't processed really the loss, then we go there, have to change hats from coach to counselor. We do that, and then they can continue. So the beauty, if I may use that word, of the principles that I bring in this book is that you do not need to apply them only to a present loss. Not only to a present loss, but to a loss that you have had in the past, or as a guideline, as a guide to losses that may happen in the future. Because guys, we are humans, and part of being humans is going through loss. Is going through loss. And if we take the attitude that, see what's happening to me, and we take the victimization or the poor me role, we won't be able to make it. Because here is how we take it. And this message now is of hope. This message now is of possibilities. Because believe me, each one of you has the resources to face a crisis, to transform a loss, and to change your lives. Each one of us. Sometimes we have a filter when we are in a loss, when we are in a crisis, when we're going through a transition, then we have this filter that doesn't allow us to see something else. But if we can just be a little open-minded and approach life with that sense of joy, of gratitude, we can continue going. And talking about gratitude, I'm going to share something with you today. Today, I went to Mass with my sister, Maria Elena. As I said, it's the anniversary of my father's death. And we were sharing their beautiful time together. And then the priest talked about something that I turned to Maria Elena. I'm like, Maria Elena, amazing. I'm going to say that tonight. He was talking about the value of being grateful. The value of being grateful. And the principles that I have mentioned to you, the first one is accept your loss, accept your transition, accept what is happening to you. The third principle is expand your spiritual dimension. What do I mean by expand your spiritual dimension? It is actually to use those spiritual tools that bring us comfort and hope. And these are, the first one, love. I believe that love moves the world. Love moves ourselves and moves the world. If we would just apply more love every single day in our lives, starting with loving ourselves. Sometimes people don't love themselves. But if we start with that, and then we expand. You remember the words of Gandhi? He said, be the change you want to see in the world. And we complain too much. We're complaining about this, about that, how people treat you, how they are. Start with ourselves. Start giving love out, and then it's gonna be a mirror. So that is one, love. The other spiritual tool that I find to be so helpful is forgiveness. Forgiving, it's a big one. Forgiving, it's so powerful. Some people tell me, so easy to say for you. You do not know what that person did to me. I cannot forgive that person. I'm like, but you know what? When you keep that grudge inside of you, you're not hurting the person, you're hurting yourself. You are carrying that inside of you. So let's forgive. And the person even doesn't need to know that you forget, that person. You just forgive from your heart, but really forgiving. You're just saying, okay, I forgive you. Really forgiving. And then another very important is to forgive ourselves. At times, we can even be more lenient with others, forgiving others. But let's remember, we are humans. And as humans, we make mistakes. That's part of living, because we learn through our mistakes. So let's forgive ourselves. And then we let go of that baggage, because sometimes we carry this weight on our shoulders and we are always complaining. Let's just, let go of that. And the third spiritual tool that I find to be so powerful is be grateful. Be grateful of every single thing that happens to you, because let's remember, when something painful and difficult happens to us, we forget about the little things and we do not give thanks. But if we can develop an attitude of gratefulness, little things, we would focus more on what we still have